All right, today we're going to look at data distribution, and that's really just a fancy way of saying what the shape of our graph is, how our data's spread out. So the easiest way to do it, I'm going to jump into a few examples. This first one is a dot plot, this first graph I have, and the easiest way to figure out is if I trace a little line over the top. You can see I have on this one, I have a lot of numbers over here, and then I don't have very many over here. It kind of looks like a roller coaster. Well, on this side over here, I always call that my tail. It kind of veers off to the side. Anytime you have a tail, that means you still have some data points over here, but the majority of them are over here to the left. So wherever your tail is at is the direction it is skewed. So for this first one, this is a skewed right graph because my tail goes off to the right. I can do the exact same thing with the histogram. If I trace over those bars, I can see on this one, a lot of my students' ages are a lot of these students' heights are over here between 125 and 129 centimeters. There's only a few kids whose height are down here in the 114 to 118 range. So it kind of veers off to the side, again, like a roller coaster. And this time my tail goes to the left. So this is going to be a skewed left graph. Another type that we have is called symmetrical. And if I draw that same line over, I can tell this is pretty much the same on each side. It does not have to be exactly the same, but if I take a look at it, I can tell it's pretty close to being together right there, or the same on each side. So that's going to be symmetrical because there is not a tail on either side. My last type that we're going to cover is called a uniform. This one is a stem and leaf plot, and I'm going to show you the trick that I usually use on stem and leaf plots. I usually look at them this way, because if I turn them to the side like that, they look almost the exact same as a dot plot or a histogram. And then I can still trace my line over it. And it's not exactly, but that's pretty close to being straight across. And the way I remember uniform is it's like a school uniform. They're all going to look the same. All your school uniforms are basically the same, which makes everybody look the same. So a uniform graph is pretty much the same all the way across. Okay, just to sum that up, an asymmetrical graph is a graph that is not symmetrical. So that would be a graph that is skewed right or skewed left, either way. A symmetrical graph, obviously, is symmetrical. It's going to be about the same on each side, and symmetrical graphs are either uniform or they're just a typical symmetrical graph like that. So if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to your teacher or jump in one of our Google Meets. Our word of the day is going to be median, like what we talked about last week. Median is our word of the day.